Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Just before this video begins, I want to announce a giveaway that I will be doing on the channel where the first 1000 subscribers will be entered into a giveaway to win a £10 gift card for Xbox, PS4 or Steam, depending on your preferred platform. So just simply subscribe to have a good chance at winning this prize. Once the channel hits the sub goal, the winner will be announced via your YouTube community post. Best of luck. Amnesia The Bunker, a very good game, however I will not be talking about it in this video. Instead I will be talking about Amnesia The Dark Descent, which released a while back, more than 10 years. In the past I've seen a few YouTubers play this, most notably people like PewDiePie for example and Markiplier. It is one of the first and most notable survival horror games ever made, and still to this day it holds up very well. So when I was looking for a new game to play, this bad boy popped up, and under £3 you really can't go wrong. So I said what the frick, and I just downloaded it and played it. So here is what I think of the game. First of all, it was kind of surprising how unique the game was and introduced a lot of mechanics that I have never used in a game before. Now you'd surely come to think that for such a popular horror survival game like Amnesia The Dark Descent, the style would have been absolutely done to death, but no, everything felt very refreshing. Everything in combination with the visuals, the audio design, the voice acting even, all comes together very well and better than most games nowadays. It will honestly never stop to impress me just thinking about how old this game is, but also how gold it is. I mean, this is truly a hit classic. Let me just set the mood for Amnesia The Dark Descent real quick. Our story begins with Daniel, a young handsome British man who wakes up in Brenberg Castle, haunted by his own amnesia. As he explores the eerie halls, he unravels the dark secrets that shroud the castle. Armed with nothing but a lantern and his wits, Daniel must navigate throughout the treacherous castle while avoiding the malevolent creatures lurking in the shadows. Now let me tell you guys, the setting for Amnesia The Dark Descent is absolutely fantastic, and it does the game every bit of justice that it deserves. The castle sets itself on a dark stormy night in the middle of a woodland in Prussia. The game is set in the eerie dark times of 1839. I would say confidently that in the majority of survival horror games released nowadays, you do have a means of defense in terms of being given some sort of a weapon. The only means of arms you're given is a lantern, which you can only kind of use to light up your surroundings and prevent you from going insane. But even with this lantern, you can't keep going on forever. This is an oil-based lantern, so you need to keep on filling it up with more fuel. So to be honest, you do have to be decently conservative with it, even though you do find a decent amount of fuel, and as long as you don't have it out all of the time, you should be alright. Another thing that you can search for are tinker boxes, which can be found all around the map, and these help you combat both your sanity and the darkness around you. I think it's about time that I start talking about the two kind of different health systems which are in this game. First off, you have your general health bar, very standard stuff. This is displayed in the form of a heart. And then you have your sanity meter, which is represented by a spinal cord and a brain. You can use different types of health items to help maintain your health meter. However, when it comes to successfully maintaining your sanity, you do have to be a little bit more careful. Just like your health bar, there are different stages which you can get to with your sanity before, well, things really start turning bad. But let's not even get to that stage, so here's what you have to do to avoid it. When your sanity starts to continuously drain, make sure you stay near a bright light. This bright light could be just your handheld lantern, or it could be lights in your surroundings, which you will need a tinker box to use. Unless you really want to, make sure you don't light up a whole room using the tinker boxes, or else you will run out very quickly, and it's just unnecessary. If your sanity starts to get worse, your hallucinations will become more real-like, your screen will start going all over the place. If you were to look at paintings when you're insane, they turn completely different. If you manage to get to the stage where your sanity is fully depleted, then you will collapse to the ground, crawl for several seconds, and you will be accompanied by a continuous high-pitched whine. To be completely honest with you guys, the first time this happened to me, I thought it was just part of a cutscene, but I guess I was wrong. Now, if there's one thing that I absolutely love about the game, it's that 99% of the time you are never ever safe and you are always on edge. Even if my boy Daniel isn't in immediate danger, you as the player will be making your pants turn brown. One thing that I found kinda nuts is, a little spoiler warning here, is that for the first half an hour to an hour, there are 0 enemies. Game wise, there is no reason for you to be afraid and there is no challenges in your way. However, you are still absolutely terrified. This is something that Amnesia The Dark Descent does perfectly throughout the whole game. The visuals for this game, which I will be talking about a little bit later, the sound design and the soundtrack all go together to always keep up the tension. The soundtrack as well as the sound design go hand in hand in delivering a very realistic and terrifying experience. Many times throughout your playthrough, especially the beginning section, the sound design will actually work against you. You will continuously hear footsteps in another room, strange whispering above or below you. There will be a piano in the hole next to you playing by itself, gushes of wind opening doors all across the castle. It's really good. I think to fully comprehend this horrifying experience, you really do have to play the game for yourself, but just in case, I'll give you guys a little demo of what it's like. Now that was pretty intense, right? Well, all of those sections were in a part of the game where there are no enemies whatsoever. So now just try to imagine a section of the game where there are enemies that you have to look out for, and this soundtrack and sound design is playing at the same time. You truly do get put into the shoes of the protagonist of Daniel. You have no idea where you are, you can't really see or hear all that well, and you are trying to recollect as much knowledge and information as you can whilst trying to fend off the monsters. And of course, being in first person gives you that even more specialized and personal touch. You get clues and different pieces of lore scattered around the dungeons, basements and castle and everywhere pretty much. And these are all there to help explain the story of what the hell you're actually doing in the castle, who you are and what you're trying to achieve. Whilst there are many characters mentioned and occasionally shown, you are kind of just desolate by yourself. There are definitely some feelings of uneasiness as well as isolation as you're wandering these huge broken down halls and corridors of the castle all by yourself. Most of the time it's just you, the enemies and the voices in your head. You get different accounts of what Daniel's life has been up to the point before he drank the amnesia potion. Earlier on you're also told that something is hunting you down, so thanks game. There's some pretty cool gameplay mechanics, such as you having the ability to pick up and throw just about everything that isn't too heavy. This gives you a sense of freedom and hint is quite useful for some puzzles. Oh yeah, talking about puzzles, I forgot to mention early on that your sanity can be restored by doing puzzles. To open objects such as wardrobes, drawers, doors or chests, you have to move your mouse into the direction you want to go in, making sure that whilst you're doing this you are holding down left click. I do like this gimmick as it adds a level of satisfaction as well as making the game very unique. And I dare say it does make you feel a lot more immersed than just clicking something. Now it is time to talk about the visuals. First up is the lighting. The game predominantly features dimly lit environments often shrouded in darkness, making you rely almost completely on your lantern and other light sources such as your tinkerboxes. Next is the architecture and environment for this game. Brennenburg Castle serves as the primary setting, with its gothic architecture and decaying interiors. The castle is filled with eerie hallways, crumbling chambers and forgotten rooms, all meticulously designed to evoke a sense of age and decay. The environments are richly detailed, featuring worn out furniture, scattered objects and atmospheric elements like cobwebs and dust, which are pretty impressive for a game this old. One thing that I found really freaky from my gameplay was the constant distorted reality. As Daniel's sanity deteriorates, you may encounter moments of distorted reality. These visual distortions include blurred vision, warped perspectives, and unsettling hallucinations. These effects intensify the psychological horror, making you question what is real and what is a figment of Daniel's crumbling mind. The creature designs for Amnesia The Dark Descent are simply next level, which is kind of interesting considering how long these designs have been made. While graphically they are not the best, they are disgusting, grotesque and definitely invoke a lot of fear. The first enemy you counter literally has their jaw hanging down onto their body, and other enemies such as the water monster thing I don't really know what their name is. They are just creepy as you don't actually see them, they just appear as little water bubbles and splashes. Always terrifying when you have to avoid something that you don't even know what looks like and your imagination runs wild. But yeah, that part when you're in this underwater dungeon looking thing and it's kind of submerged, so you have to hop on these crates and boxes, you're always going to be avoiding this thing that is trying to follow you and get your ass. Also, a friendly reminder that stealth really is crucial in this game. When you're faced with some unspeakable horrors, you must remain hidden and avoid direct confrontation. Because sadly, my boy Daniel is quite fragile and he is unable to fight the monsters himself. But the whole thing isn't just running from monsters, you also have a variety of tasks to do, first of which is to make a chemical potion. Well, an acid thing to melt something. But honestly, I've tried to keep this video as spoiler free as I possibly can because I just really want you guys to check this game out if you haven't already. My ending thoughts and conclusion is that Amnesia The Dark Descent is an unforgettable experience that pushed the boundaries of horror gaming when it released. With its immersive gameplay, spine-chilling story and atmospheric presentation, it continues to captivate players. Honestly, I just want to drink an Amnesia potion myself just so I can replay this thing for the first time. But I do hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in a future video. Goodbye.